Welcome to Chapter 11, Managing Knowledge. As the workforce is getting older, people are leaving. People who've been there for many years. And this is causing a big drain on companies. As these older people are leaving, younger people are taking their place, but they don't have the knowledge. So I guess the question is, how do we capture that knowledge from these people who have 20, 30, 40 years of experience that are walking out the door, retiring? We're hiring new people, but they don't have that knowledge base. That's what we're going to be looking at today. How can we go about that? So first, we're going to look at what knowledge systems are, how we use them, enterprise-wide knowledge systems, type of knowledge work systems, and what are some of the benefits that we might be able to get out of it. So what is the role of the knowledge management systems? As I talked about, people are leaving. And knowledge management systems are among the fastest growing in the area. For information economy, 37% of the labor force are knowledge and information work. 55% U.S. GDP from knowledge works and sectors. So basically all this stuff is coming back, as people are leaving. What are we going to be doing with it? So some important dimensions of knowledge. We have data, we have knowledge, and that's wisdom. So data is something that we've talked about in big data. We just collect it. When we collect data, we run reports, and that turns it into kind of knowledge. But it's that wisdom that we really have to put in after 30 years. How do we take that wisdom and put it back into that data? So we have tactical knowledge and explicit knowledge. So there's a difference between them. We're going to look at that. And the important dimensions. Knowledge is a firm asset. Knowledge has different forms. Knowledge has a location. And knowledge is situational. So, knowledge-based core, right? Core organizations. Knowing how to do things efficiently and effectively in ways others cannot duplicate. That is what we're looking at. Having a unique build-to-order production time system, or organizational learning. Process and organizations gain experience through collection of data management. So, the knowledge management value chain. Knowledge management, set of business processes developed in an organization to create, store, transfers, and apply it. The value chain. Where do we get this? Where do we, knowledge acquisition, knowledge storage, dissemination, and application. So these are just some of the areas that we need to look at. It all comes back to how do we get that information? What is data, knowledge acquisition? How do we get this? Documenting whether it's tactile or explicit knowledge, storing documents, reports, presentations, best practices. We have unstructured documents we need to look at, emails, possibly interviewing people, developing online experts, creating knowledge, tracking data from the TPS and external sources. We talked about TPS, that's a transactional processing. Where is this data coming from? How did this person gain knowledge? So how do we store it? Well, most obvious is the database. We've talked about that. Document management systems and role management. So we're going to be looking at some of those right now. So dissemination. How do we get this knowledge back to the people who need it? We can use wikis and portals and emails and instant messages and search engines, but there's just so much on there. Training, informal networks, this is some of the things we need to do. Knowledge business practices. How do we go about documenting what people know? Collaboration communities of practice, office environments. Developing new organizational roles and responsibilities. Do we have a chief knowledge officer? For the executives, what are in the executive branch? Do we have dedicated staff? Communities of practices, informal social networks. Activities include education, online newsletters, sharing knowledge, reducing knowledge curves of new employees. These are all samples of what we need to do. So what are some of the knowledge systems out there? Well, enterprise-wide knowledge systems, general purpose, that collects and stores this information. Knowledge work systems, specialized systems built for engineers, scientists, and other knowledge workers charged in discovering and creating new knowledge. And intelligent techniques, diverse groups of techniques such as data mining, used in various goals, discovering knowledge, distilling knowledge, discovering optimum solutions. Three types of major knowledge to it in an enterprise. Structured. These are reports, presentations that we have. Semi-structured. Emails, documents, videos, and unstructured, tactical. 80% of all this data that we collect is either unstructured or semi-structured. So, reports are easy to keep track of, but how do we keep track of someone and what they're doing? So, enterprise content management systems help capture, store, retrieve, distribute, preserve, document, and semi-structured knowledge. Bring in external sources, news feeds, tools for communication, blogs, wikis, and so on. Key problems, developing this. Digital asset management. Locating and sharing expertise. Providing online directories of corporate experts in well-defined knowledge domains. Search tools to enable employees. Social networking and business tools for finding knowledge outside the firm. LMS, or learning management systems, provide tools for management to deliver tracking and assessments, support CD-ROMs, web-based learning, online forums, automate selection and administration courses, assemble these, measures learning effectiveness. Massively open online courses, MOOC, these are web courses for large participants. So what is a knowledge worker? Basically, they are why we're going to school. They're researchers, designer, architects, scientists, engineers, but they create knowledge for the organization. How do we keep organizations current in knowledge? Serving an internal consultant regarding the area, acting on these change. Knowledge work systems, systems for knowledge workers to help create this information. Requirements for knowledge work systems. What do we need to look for? Sufficient computing power for graphics. Analytic tools are going to be used. Documentations. We're going to have access to databases. They should be user-friendly. CAD, computer-aided design, creation of engineering and designs, 3D printing. Virtual reality systems, stimulate real-life environments, 3D medical modeling. Augmented, VRML. What are businesses using? Intelligent processes, intelligent techniques used to capture individual and collective knowledge and extend knowledge base to capture tactical knowledge, expert systems, case-based, reasoning and fuzzy logic, knowledge discoveries, neural networks and data mining, generating solution of complex problems, automating tasks, artificial intelligence. These are all ways that we can use this technology in order to gain the knowledge from these people. Capturing this. Capturing tactic knowledge is a very specific and limited domain to human enterprise. Capture knowledge is a set of rules. Diagnosing malfunctioning machines. Determining whether to grant credit loan. Used for discrete, highly structured decision making. Set of hundreds of thousands of rules. Successful expert systems. Conway transportation, automated and optimal planning, overnight system rules. Most expert systems deal with problems of classification. Many expert require large, lengthy, expensive developments. Case-based reasoning. Descriptions of past experience, human specialist cases. Search for cases with characteristics similar to those. Successful and unsuccessful are grouped as cases. Store this. Allows us to used in the medical world. Fuzzy logic, rule-based technology that represents imprecision used in linguistics. Cold is an example. That represents a range of values. Description of a particular phenomena or process that represent the description in small numbers. Provide solutions to problems requiring if and then statements. Machine learning. How computer programs improve performance without explicit programming, recognizing patterns, experience. Prior learnings, databases, contemporary Google searches. Neural networks. Find patterns and relationships in massive amounts of data too complicated for humans. They learn patterns by searching for relationships, building models and correcting over and over again. Human trains, network by feeding it data input. Used medicine. Genetics algorithms, useful for finding optimal solutions for specific problems. Conceptual based used. Intelligent agents work without direct human intervention to carry out repetitive, predictable tasks, deleting junk mail, finding cheapest airfare. Chat box, these are some of the things that are out there. And hybrid systems, genetic algorithms, fuzzy logic, neural and expert systems integrated to a single application to take advantage of this. So these are some of the fuzzy logic things that are out there, the hybrid AI systems. So for knowledge, this is what we were looking at. Knowledge is what the people have. We have TPS, which is the transactional processes. We collect the data, we turn it into information, we turn that into knowledge. And that knowledge is what enables us to go back and make the decisions. And this is what companies are losing. So we need to look at this. Anyway, have a wonderful day. And remember to smile.